How's it going, everybody? Chadley here. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 10 bosses slash items to be farming and trying to get your hands on over the next basically week with this boss loot event. If you guys are unaware of this event, so basically right now, these bosses have a 100% chance of dropping an item from their dedicated loot pool. So just to make this clear, this doesn't mean, say you're farming Kilovolt trying to get a Monarch, it's going to drop a Monarch every time. So Kilovolt in his dedicated loot pool has the 9-volt and the Monarch. So every single time you kill him, you have a chance of getting one of those two items. But either way, this is the perfect time to be farming something like the Monarch because it's basically a 50% chance of getting your hands on it. And overall is just a super easy time for farming, and it makes your life incredibly simple. So with this list, this is my personal opinion on how you guys should be prioritizing what items to be getting. 10 being the item you want to least prioritize on this list, and 1 being the one you want to prioritize the most. So with that information, let's go ahead and just jump right into it, and starting off with number 10. Now, the first boss you're going to want to be farming your heart out is Wotan. Now, the Tiggs Boom got a recent buff, and this thing is insane. Also, the redistributor still works fantastic on Zane. So if you guys are trying to get your hands on those, now is the time to be farming it. Since you're basically guaranteed one of those takedown weapons, there's a really good chance you're going to get it, especially with 3 different sources it can come from, with the upper half, lower half, and the brain. So definitely be farming those Malamon takedowns, getting your hands on those Tiggs and redistributors. Also, the Moonfire is a solid option, especially for like a ties that bind Amara. So then moving on to number 9, we're going to be farming Jackpot, trying to get those DLC 1 class mods. Those class mods are actually super helpful. If you guys play Zane a lot, this is basically a necessity for you. You guys need to get your hands on the good Seen Dead class mods. Otherwise, Stackbot for Flak is pretty nuts right now, especially with Grills and the Mist builds, especially with also some of the other weapons in the game that we have with it. Green Monster is awesome for Moes. The Golden Rule, I really don't use it that much, but it is an option if you guys want to try that on Amara. But overall, definitely go farm Jackpot. You guys are going to get tons of those class mods every single kill. Coming in at number 8 is a DLC 2 item, and we're going to be farming the Kukuajak enemy in Nagal Nashai. This is going to get our hands on the Anarchy. The Anarchy is still one of the strongest shotguns in the entire game. This thing can absolutely shred. And also right now with it, you can stack it up just by doing a normal reload. You can shoot one time, hit reload, and it's going to stack. I don't know how long it's going to stay in the game. I believe that is a bug, as that goes against what the Anarchy is. But for right now, that's definitely a very awesome shotgun you guys can get your hands on. And I highly recommend trying to farm a good one. But let's go ahead and move to number 7. That is going to be Agonizer 9000. Now, Agonizer is going to be dropping the back burner for you, which is one of the best rocket launchers in the entire game, especially if you guys are rocking Clone. Clone can make huge use out of the back burner and deal tons of damage, so I definitely recommend getting your hands on that. Also, the other characters make very good work of the back burner. Coming up next at number 6 is another rocket launcher. This is another Mayhem 6+ weapon. This is going to be the Plaguebearer, so we're going to be farming the Warden. Now, you guys can get Plaguebearers pretty darn often. I was getting them almost every single time. Occasionally, like a Freeman would be thrown into the mix, but to be honest, I was having really good luck farming the Plaguebearers, which in my opinion is one of the best rocket launchers in the entire game for all characters. Moes, this is going to make your life super easy for all content, including like the Guardian takedown. Also on Flak right now for just mass mob clearing, especially with how much damage these enemies are doing. Having a Plaguebearer is actually crucial and will definitely save your life and increase your clear speeds. Now coming in at number 5, this is another DLC weapon. This is from DLC 3, but it's also the last DLC item on this list. We're going to be farming Lazadactyl for the Light Show. The Light Show is basically a mini Monarch, and all the characters basically can get a ton of use out of it. The only one I really don't use it on is Moes, because she definitely prefers splash weapons at the moment with how Skagden and Short Fuse are. But for all other characters, the Light Show is one of the best weapons you can have. For Flak, you can just shred through enemies, and then Amara and Zane are not far behind, and overall is just really good to have on those characters. Now coming in at number 4, in its rightful spot, is going to be the Mayhem 4 class mods. So this includes things like Spiritual Driver, Rack Pack, those types of class mods, everything that was introduced with the Malawan takedown. I see a ton of people having issues trying to farm the Spiritual Driver, as it is one of Amara's most sought after class mods. So right now they're basically dropping it every single time, and I highly recommend going and farming Celestial and Atomic. And then the Rack Pack class mod is also another really good one right now, especially how much damage racks are doing. So go ahead and farm the Trial of Cunning, and you guys will be getting that fairly often. Occasionally a different class mod can be dropping there, but overall that is one of the more annoying farms in the game, so I definitely recommend farming that. Same thing goes with Zane's Antifreeze. If you guys don't want to be using Seeing Dead, the Antifreeze is another really good class mod option for Zane. This class mod is going to be coming from the Trial of Discipline. And then lastly, for Moze, you're going to be farming the Raging Bear class mod from Billy the Anointed. This is basically the go-to class mod right now if you guys want to do Iron Bear builds, because Iron Bear is incredibly powerful. So I definitely recommend getting a Raging Bear if you guys want to do a build like that. Now coming in at number 3, you guys are going to be farming Genevieve in Ferocious Canopy. This is going to get you that sweet reflux that almost every single character can get a ton of use out of. This is probably the best mobbing weapon in the game at the moment, just for general use on all the characters. On Flak, basically any build, it's a must because it does head count so well. So you can just be cycling your action skills super fast with Flak. I almost use it on every single Flak build. Mara can make really good use out of it, same with Zane. Moze, I really don't use it that much because she definitely makes better use out of the splash weapons, like I said earlier. But overall, Reflux is a must-have from Genevieve. I definitely recommend getting URAD versions, consecutive hits, and then ×7 and ×14. You guys can take your pick on which one of those you like. It's basically just personal preference when it comes to that. Now we're getting close to the end here. Coming in at number 2, you guys are going to be farming Kilovolt so you can get the Monarch. The Monarch is one of the best weapons for almost every single character. Zane, Flak, and Amara all use this weapon heavily and is honestly one of the best DPS weapons for those 3 characters. And same thing goes with Moze, where she definitely makes better use out of Splash, but you still can use the Monarch on Moze. I just would use a Splash weapon right now. But for Flak, Zane, and Amara, the Monarch is definitely almost best in slot in every scenario in terms of just boss damage. So I definitely recommend getting your hands on some consecutive hits and URAD versions of the Monarch. Now you guys can take your pick with ×4 and ×8. I personally like ×4 a little bit better, so I have to reload less often, but that is completely up to you. Now coming in as an honorable mention right before we get to number 1 here. So all these weapons I've kind of been mentioning haven't really been all Splash related and have not been Moze focused, but this one is especially really good on Moze and not really that great on the other characters, and that is the Flipper in DLC 3. You're going to get this from Minosaur in Blood Sun Canyon, and right now is probably the best weapon for Moze. You can shred through all content in the game with this thing, and if you pair it with something like a Blastmaster class mod, you're going to be doing just absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage. So I did just want to throw that in as an honorable mention so you guys can get a best in slot weapon for Moze. Now finally coming in at our number 1 spot, top of the priority list, you guys are going to be wanting to farm Anathema in the Guardian takedown and get your hands on the Stinger. This is definitely the most annoying farm in the game at the moment, just for how long it takes to just get a chance at the Stinger, and normally Anathema is very stingy with dropping it, but right now, with the guaranteed dedicated drops, it increases your chances so much and is going to save you guys so much time in the future. The Stinger right now is one of the most powerful shields in the entire game, and once enemy damage is fixed and they're doing the proper amounts of damage, the Stinger, in my opinion, is going to be even stronger because you can start running it on non-melee builds and just using it as like a bonus element shield, and I'm probably going to be rocking it on Amara once that is fixed, because that way anything that gets close to me is just going to disappear and I don't even have to do any extra work for it. They'll just break my shield and they disappear. So definitely get your hands on all the different ASCs of Stingers and the different just base elements of the Stingers for those Novas, and you guys will be good to go. But yeah guys, that is my personal opinion on what you guys should be prioritizing for this next week with this farming event. If you guys have any other weapons that you want other people or think other people should be farming at the moment, definitely let me know down in the comments down below. Definitely help each other out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, found it helpful, make sure to leave a like on it. If you guys want to see more Borderlands content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys over on Twitch every single night, right around 7-8 p.m. Central Time. But have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya!